Hey, how have you been doing recently?
Hey Andrea, yeah, I had a busy day. I'm really beat.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure you'll win next time.
I meant I'm extremely tired.
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew that.
Have you been studying English for some time and still feel like you're stuck using the same phrases? I've been there on my own language learning journey and understand how frustrating it can be when you want to take your vocabulary to the next level but feel like you're not getting anywhere. Well, today's lesson was created to help you do just that. We'll look at 60 advanced English phrases that are perfect for everyday conversations. To help you remember them more easily, I've put them into 6 groups associated with different rooms in the house. But before we get started, if you're new here and frustrated with boring methods of learning English that just don't seem to work, you've come to the right place. Each week, we create lessons like this to help learners like you get comfortable using English naturally and with confidence anywhere and anytime. If you'd like to be part of our global community, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell down below so that you never miss out on any of our new lessons. You might be surprised to know how many great phrases contain words related to the bedroom. The first one we'll look at today is put something to bed. This means to successfully deal with something or solve a problem. Example, I had a lot of tasks to deal with at work, but I was able to put them to bed before the weekend. Similar to this, we have put someone to bed. This one is more literal and is usually used when referring to helping someone, typically a child, prepare for and get into bed at night. Example, she prefers to read after she puts the kids to bed. Sleep something off. If you sleep something off, especially alcohol, you go to sleep so that you will feel better when you wake up. Example, after he stayed out late partying, he went to his room to sleep it off. To do something in your sleep. If you can do something in your sleep, you can do it very easily, usually because you have done it so often. Example, I've done this task so many times, I could do it in my sleep now. Doze off. This means to start to fall asleep, especially for a short period of time. Example, yesterday the office was so hot, she nearly dozed off at her desk. To get into bed with someone. This one may sound awkward, but it's really not. It means to make an agreement to work with a person or group, or to be involved with them in a way that causes other people not to trust you. Example, the owner of the company is obviously in bed with the supplier. You made your bed, now lie in it. This is said to someone who must accept the unpleasant results of something they have done. Example, you were late for work every day this month, so your boss gave you a final warning. You've made your bed, now lie in it. A pipe dream. A pipe dream is a hope or plan that you have that you know will never really happen. Example, many people believe that living on Mars someday is just a pipe dream. Something is a bed of roses. We use this to refer to an easy and comfortable situation in which a person likes to live. Example, moving to Spain has been a bed of roses. To lose any sleep over something. This means to worry about something so much that one cannot sleep. Example, after I failed the exam, I decided not to lose any sleep over it. So you have the vocabulary, but in your day-to-day life, you have few, if any, real opportunities to use what you're learning by speaking. So we decided to solve this problem by creating our real life app. This is the only place where anytime, anywhere, you can just press a button and start practicing your English instantly with other English speakers from all around the world. You can have fascinating conversations about your life, your passions, different cultures, or even just about the weather if you want. This will take you from feeling like a lost and insecure English learner to being a confident and natural English speaker. And that's not all. You can listen to our podcast and you'll receive a free transcript along with all the vocabulary definitions. Having a great teacher can be life-changing, but I know many of you just can't afford that, and so you have to learn on your own. That's why we made the Real Life app a free resource that you can use to improve your speaking. So download it now for free by clicking up here or the link down in the description below, or just look for Real Life English in your favorite app store. The next group of words are linked to the idea of washing or cleaning. Wash your hands clean of something. If you wash your hands of something that you were previously responsible for, you intentionally stop being involved in it or connected with it in any way. Example, after he resigned from his job, he couldn't wait to wash his hands clean of the whole company. Someone is washed up. If you are washed up, you are no longer successful, skillful, popular, or needed, and you have no chance of it in the future. Example, when she became a dancer, she feared that she'd be washed up by the time she turned 35. Have a clean bill of health. If a doctor gives you a clean bill of health, they tell you that you are fit and healthy. Example, the doctor gave him a clean bill of health. Clean cut. This describes someone with a neat and attractive appearance and style of clothing. Example, my sister's fiance is a nice, clean-cut young man. Come clean about something. This means to tell the truth about something's secret. Example, he decided it was time to come clean about what he'd been doing. A clean slate. If you start with a clean slate, you do not take account of previous mistakes or failures and instead make a fresh start. Example, after he failed the test, he decided to start with a clean slate. Freshen up. This means to do something to make yourself look cleaner or neater, usually by washing your face and arranging your hair. Example, he freshened up before going out with his friends. A clean sweep. If you make a clean sweep of something such as games or tournaments, you win them all. Example, the actress made a clean sweep at the awards ceremony. Keep your nose clean. This simply means to stay out of trouble. Example, when he started a new job, he tried his best to keep his nose clean. Wipe the floor with someone. If you wipe the floor with someone, you defeat them completely in a competition or discussion. Example, the football team wiped the floor with the opposition. Now, let's get into some phrases related to the word business. Like nobody's business. If someone is doing something like nobody's business, they are doing it very fast in large amounts or to a great extent. Example, it's been raining like nobody's business. Business as usual. If you say something is business as usual, you mean that people will continue doing what they normally do. Example, less than a week after the earthquake, it was business as usual in the city. Unfinished business is something that has not yet been done, dealt with, or completed. Example, before he left, he made peace with everyone he had unfinished business with. Get down to business. This means to start doing what needs to be done. Example, after the introductions, the team got down to business. Go about your business. We use this to mean that you continue doing what you usually do. Example, the street was full of people going about their business. Monkey business. This refers to behavior that is not acceptable or is dishonest. Example, the teacher suspected that the children had been up to some monkey business while she was out of the room. Taking care of business. This simply means to do what needs to be done. Example, she is good at taking care of business, so she's been put in charge of organizing the event. To give someone the business. This means to scold or treat someone harshly. Example, the passengers will give the bus driver the business if he keeps driving so recklessly. To make it your business to do something. We use this to say that someone makes an effort to do something because they think it's important. Example, she makes it her business to know all the staff in her office. The business end of something. This is the part or end of something that actually does the work or carries out the procedure. Example, that's an electric drill. This is the business end of it, so point that part away from yourself. Before you continue watching, why not pause the video and let us know if you'd like to learn more vocabulary related to daily activities. Share in the comments down below and don't forget to add an encouraging message to the other members of the community. Now let's look at 10 phrases related to cooking. To cook something up. To invent a clever or dishonest story, excuse or plan. Example, he had to cook up an excuse when he crashed his father's car. Half-baked. We use this when something is not planned or considered carefully enough. Example, he had another half-baked scheme that wasn't going to work. Going under the knife. This means to have a medical operation or surgery. Example, he needed to go under the knife after he broke his leg. In the heat of the moment. If you say or do something in the heat of the moment, you say or do it without thinking because you are very angry or excited. Example, she was angry and shared her feelings in the heat of the moment. Burn yourself out. This happens when you are forced to stop working because you have become ill or very tired from working too hard. Example, after working every day for a year, she burnt herself out. Make someone's blood boil. This means to make someone very angry. Example, when I hear stories of animal cruelty, it makes my blood boil. Turn up the heat on something. To turn up the heat means to put pressure on a person or situation in order to get what you want. Example, the team really turned up the heat on their opponents in the second half of the match. To cook the books. If you say that someone has cooked the books, you mean that they have changed figures or a written record in order to deceive people. Example, the man was sent to prison after he was found guilty of cooking the books at his company. Slow burn. This means a gradual building up of anger as opposed to an immediate outburst. Example, my boss did a slow burn when he saw the expense report. Brain fried. This is a term used for when someone feels mentally exhausted and burned out. Example, she felt completely brain fried after studying for the exam. Okay, we're about to discuss some interesting phrases related to food and eating. Food for thought refers to something worth thinking seriously about. Example, he enjoys reading books that give him food for thought. The icing on the cake. If you describe something as the icing on the cake, you mean that it makes a good thing even better or a bad thing worse. For example, a good one. The athlete received a gold medal and the icing on the cake was that he also received a sponsorship deal. Bad example, not only did he crash his car, but the icing on the cake was that he had to pay a speeding fine. Takes the cake. When something takes the cake, it means that it's worst or best of its kind. Example, all the restaurants are good, but this one takes the cake. Dog eat dog. You use dog eat dog to express your disapproval of a situation where people want to succeed and are willing to harm other people in order to do so. We sometimes use the expression, it's a dog eat dog world out there. Pie in the sky. If you describe an idea, plan, or promise of something good as pie in the sky, you mean that you think that it's very unlikely to happen. Example, their plans to set up their own business are just pie in the sky. Bring to the table. This means to provide or use a useful skill or attribute to a group or situation. For example, he brings years of leadership experience to the table. To sugarcoat. This means to make something seem more positive or pleasant than it really is. Example, she sugarcoated the information on her profile. To eat humble pie. If you eat humble pie, you speak or behave in a way which tells people that you admit you were wrong about something. Example, he was forced to eat humble pie after he was caught stealing. Eat your words. This phrase also means to admit that you were wrong about something. Example, he said he'd never lose, but he had to eat his words after he lost at the game. Eat someone out of house and home. This means to eat too much food when you're at someone else's home. For example, my neighbours came over yesterday to watch the game and ate us out of house and home. And finally, we're going to look at phrases related to sitting. Sitting pretty. If you say that someone is sitting pretty, you mean that they are in a good, safe, or comfortable situation. For example, they bought their house while prices were low, so now they're sitting pretty. Sit tight. When we use sit tight, we're telling the other person to remain in the same place or situation and not take any action, usually because you are waiting for something to happen. For example, when she heard a strange noise last night, her husband told her to sit tight while he investigated. Something doesn't sit well with you. We use this when something is difficult to agree with or accept. Example, the president's decision did not sit well with many people. Someone or something is a sitting duck. If you say that someone is a sitting duck, you mean that they are easy to attack, cheat, or take advantage of. Example, he felt like a sitting duck when he got lost in a foreign city. Sitting on your hands. This means to do nothing about a problem or a situation that needs dealing with. Example, instead of studying harder to pass the test, the boy sat on his hands and gave up. To sit something out. If you sit something out, you don't take part in it. Example, due to his injury, he had to sit out the game. Sit on the fence. If you sit on the fence, you avoid choosing a particular side in a discussion or argument. Example, they sat on the fence about who to vote for. To sit in on something means to attend a meeting or class. Example, his boss asked him to sit in on the meetings. To sit on something. If you do this, you mean that you are delaying dealing with it. Example, he had been sitting on the assignment for at least a month before he submitted it. Sit idly by. This means to see something happen and choose to do nothing about it, or simply to take no action. Example, we can't just sit idly by and watch the planet being destroyed, we have to do something. In this video, you learned 60 advanced words and phrases that you can start using today. If you don't remember them all, not a problem. We've created a free downloadable PDF worksheet that you can access by clicking on the link down in the description box below. This way, you can extend your learning even further. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you like this video and share it with a friend who's also learning English. And to keep learning more useful vocabulary, check out this next video. Morning, class.
Hello, hi.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Schools love teaching that. I'm fine, thank you. And you? But it doesn't work so well in real life. Same thing with hi and hello.